Hey everyone, and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host, Gina Parker. I am here with my co-host, Ashley Jones.
Heyo.
What have you been watching this week?
Well, I finally have a new show to talk about. I'm really excited. I've caught up on Will Trent and caught up on High Potential. Both shows I'm going to continue watching, but they don't have any more episodes on my fingertips, so I had to have something on the ready. I've been watching Not Dead Yet with Gina Rodriguez and Lauren Ash and Hannah Simone, who I absolutely loved from New Girl. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. Did I finally catch one you haven't heard before?
I did see it. It wasn't for me.
Ah, man. Just I can't beat you to the punch. Not Dead Yet is about a girl who used to be a journalist and she ran away with boyfriend or fiance to London and then the romance fell apart and she's coming back to her old life, but the newspaper doesn't have a job for her, so she starts writing obituaries. And as she does, the ghosts of the people of the obituary she's writing come back to haunt her, but nobody knows. So it's kind of funny because the ghosts are talking to her and she's trying not to be a crazy person. Meanwhile, she has all these friends and stuff, and there's all these side characters and their stuff, but it's really funny. I quite like it.
Re-inspired to watch it after seeing Gina Rodriguez on Will Trent.
No, I was just looking for another show and I mean, I like her from
Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin. I was like, that show. Yeah, I loved her in Jane the Virgin.
She's starring on Will Trent this season. She's already had an episode, so I don't know if you're as
I guess
caught
I'm
up
not
as
that
you
cut
think.
up. I'm probably not that cut up then. I got, yeah. Well, I mean, I tend to go through things in phases and shifts, so I'll find my way back to it, I'm sure. But
What a
what about
coinky
you?
dink.
I know it's kind of ironic, although they're all shows on Hulu, so I guess it's not that surprising.
And they're all shows that are on ABC originally that go to Hulu next day. High Potential as well. Saw it this week, which is it was the 55th anniversary of All My Children.
Wow.
And so Andy Cohen hosted a panel with a bunch of All My Children actors, including Susan Lucci, who played Erica, and some of the actors of the show, like an executive producer, a head writer, and the casting director for the last several decades of the show, I guess. Last couple decades of the show. And it was very interesting. I would have liked to see more of it than the just the hour they had. And they talked about how the end of All My Children was supposed to be Erica marrying Jack. I wanted to hear more about what the original ending was because they said they had to change it to a bunch of cliffhangers because it was bought by Prospect Park and they did the reboot. And I actually liked the reboot online on Hulu that they had of All My Children, but then that was also canceled after a few months, which is a shame. So it was kind of an unsatisfying ending, and maybe we would have been better with the happy endings. But in the meantime, we can talk about All My Children, March of 1985. And I was saying this year is one where there's like almost no episodes. It's mostly just clips. And
Mm.
so some people clipped like certain storylines. And so we have a lot of those where we'll have some episodes of recording where it'll just be about like four characters. So winners and losers will get a little
A
more,
little bit more sparse.
but you know. So
Oh, I love Tad.
do you or do you love to hate Tad?
I mean, normally I love to hate him, but recently I kind of feel bad for him, to be honest.
Yeah, well, this might continue it. We'll see how you react. So basically, Dottie eventually comes clean because her plan was to get pregnant again by Tad before he realized she miscarried, but too much time went by with negative pregnancy tests. And so finally Dottie came clean. They split up. So Tad's like, great, I get to be with the woman I'm really in love with, Hillary. And
Mm.
Hillary, at this point, is engaged to his best friend, Bob Georgia.
Mm.
Hillary and Tad talk about their situation. Hillary loves Bob kind of as a friend. She's not that into him. Tad's finally free of Dottie. Things are going to work up. They decide they're going to get married. Hillary just has to go dump Bob. The problem is that Bob goes to his doctor and finds out he only has a year to live.
Ah.
And so he goes back to Hillary and tells her this, and she's like, well, I can't dump him now. But also, out of respect for his privacy, she won't tell Tad why she won't break up with Bob. And so Tad's super frustrated, like, hey, what's going on? We were just gonna get married finally.
I was gonna comment that scene where he's talking to Bob. He looks like genuinely despondent. The acting is quite good.
He's very talented.
Mm.
Brooks in prison, and she and Mark have been kidnapped, and they're being taken to Ravenswood as part of a deep criminal conspiracy. So we leave them in danger. That's all I'm saying about Brooke and poor Mark right now. It's such a long story, such a long, convoluted drug story.
Ah,
And
yes.
so after Angie convinced Jesse to work with Yvonne, after Angie let Yvonne move into their house, after her boyfriend broke up with her, her boyfriend Wesley Snipes, if you remember,
I do. Yes.
Yvonne decided to seduce Jesse and get him for herself. And so Jesse cheated on Angie with Yvonne. And he says it's one time, but will it really be one time?
Never is in these stories.
Do you think a cheater is always a cheater?
Mm, no, but it's kind of tricky to stay away from that person if they're living in your house.
Yeah. I think in real life, people can change in soaps. It's, it takes a
Right.
while.
Right.
So Benny Saw goes back in town. He opens a new hangout for teens, which Jesse's brother is working at. And Benny and Donna are growing closer. So before Benny left town, he's like, I want to marry you. And Donna was like, no. But now that Donna has broken up with Tom Cudahy, Benny and Donna are finally starting to happen. And then we have what is arguably the skeeziest, well, it just is the skeeziest. I'm sorry to editorialize, but the skeeziest storyline is Zac and Nina. So Zac is the faith healer who's been pumping Nina for money for months now. And she has finally cut him off because she's given him like 30 grand, which in the 80s was even more money. But it's
Mm.
to fund his faith healing research, to make devices, to make prototypes, to help people like I guess what would now be considered a wellness brand, except of course he's a con artist. So,
As many wellness brands are.
mhm. So Nina's married to Cliff. Cliff's sister Linda hates Nina and is dating Zac. So there's a married couple. The married couple has a sister who's dating the scam artist.
Okay.
And what happens at this point is Nina's like, finally, like, I've poured tons of money into you. You haven't produced anything because you're a con artist. And so I'm cutting you off. And Linda
Yeah.
has also been helping scam Nina, her sister in law, because she sucks. Linda, I mean. And so she cuts him off. At this point, there's no clip of it, but Zac drugs Nina, gets her naked, gets himself naked, crawls into bed with her, and has Linda take pictures that they use to blackmail Nina's father and
Oh
say, we
boy.
will release the pictures of your daughter having sex with me if you don't pay up a ton of money. So that's how they're getting their money now, by essentially sexually assaulting. And
Drugging,
yeah. Uh
blackmail. It's very
mhm.
soap.
And the thing is, it's very horrible. Zac did this, but again, Linda is Nina's sister-in-law, and she helped do this to her. It's messed up.
Messed. So messed up.
And so Nina's mother, Daisy, is also dating Zac. She did not know anything up until this point of what he was doing. She finds the pictures of Nina and she just steals them and gives them to Palmer with the negatives too. But Zac tells Palmer he has more negatives of them sleeping together. That's where we leave things.
Wow.
Winners and losers.
Ooh, I'm gonna say winner is Hillary for standing by her man because he's dying and having enough, fortitude to not like spread his business, even though the man that she loves wants to know why they can't be together. So I thought that was pretty good of her. I guess I gotta go with Nina being drugged and ganged up on by her sister-in-law and the guy that she's been funding for trying to save people, even though he's a con artist. Yeah.
Uh, my winner is Benny and Donna because they're just falling in love. So their lives are going okay. And my loser is Linda, even though she's getting what she wants. What a gross human. Like her sister-in-law's house rent free and still has the nerve to do this. Like even if, you know, she wasn't living rent free, just doing that to another person is terrible. But
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
it's like she's going after her for just being a mildly annoying sister.
That's
It
crazy.
sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Like, subscribe, comment. We love the comments. Please buy our merch. I think that's it for this week. All right. Well,
Well, bye.
bye. Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.